You were mentioning about the tax credits people focusing on. I think in the last couple of years, people focused on ERTC, and billions of dollars given away for that.
Right.
But they forgot about the other 3,000 that are available out there. There's $63 billion worth of tax credits out there, and last year, only 1.5% were claimed.
Five, four, three. What's up, everybody? Eric here for the ProcurementCon brand, and we are here with a really special episode of Biz Talk, the show. If you are not following us on YouTube, you better do so. Check out ProcurementCon. I made this damn thing up, and I can't even say it. ProcurementCon.com for more information. And I am here today with Steven. And that's it. We're good. Thanks, Steve. Steven Lesce is with Asure. Is it just Asure?
Asure Software, yep.
Asure Software. And we're here to talk to Steven today because we've heard a lot of things. We hear in the small business community about tax credits or tax opportunities and opportunity zones and this and that. The one thing that small businesses have a problem with often is capital. Yep. And I think in a conversation you and I had, you had said to me that there's these tax credits that are out there, and I think you dropped a ridiculous number, like 3,000 potential different tax credits or something?
State, federal, local press, yeah.
Okay. And that those can be leveraged for capital. And the one thing small businesses need is working capital, especially in the government contracting space, because the government is not about to drop a deposit on contract for you, and then you just go like, tra-la-la, walk away with the money. They want you to perform and have money up front.
And perform, you have to hire people.
And you have to hire people, right? So I think the first thing, and you know how I run this show, is you talk and you're going to end up leading. You're going to end up leading me in those questions that I'm going to end up asking you. So tell us a little bit about you and then Asure.
Steven Lesce, Asure Software. We do HR, payroll, and those ancillary things that we do for small business, mainly small businesses. And we have 100,000 clients, so we're big enough to do your business and small enough to care about it. So that's really targeted small business. You were mentioning about the tax credits people focusing on. I think in the last couple of years, people focused on ERTC, and billions of dollars given away for that.
Right.
But they forgot about the other 3,000 that are available out there. There's $63 billion worth of tax credits out there, and last year, only 1.5% were claimed. So that's a lot of money. You're going to do the calc?
I get that. Yeah, you said 63 billion.
63 billion.
Let's give him a number.
And it's 1.5%. Calculator doesn't go that high.
You sure? Wait. Boom!
There we go.
And you said 1.5.
1.5%, yeah.
All right. Mark's sitting right there. His brain should have kicked off. So only $945 million was claimed.
Less than $1 billion, yep.
So there's a lot of money sitting out there.
It's a lot of opportunity. And the thing about it, most people don't know where that opportunity is. And so what we do is we work at a company called HR Logics. We work with that company to help you as a small business owner to claim the tax credits that are available to you.
Okay, so that's a pretty broad statement. Claim the tax credits that are available to you. So I am an underwater basket weaver.
Yes.
I get tax credits for that?
Possibly, yeah. There's 20-something categories.
Oh, so give me an idea of one. Just give me one.
Let's say if that the
underwater basket
weaving, okay, is in an empowerment zone. Okay, and the government said, okay, we're going to encourage those in those empowerment zones business to hire people within the zone. If that's where you're located, you're eligible for tax credits.
Okay. So that basically, underwater basket weaving, we'll just call that manufacturing at this point.
Yep.
Right?
Okay.
Does that qualify anybody out there? Can we qualify that as manufacturing? We good? Okay.
Well, the thing about manufacturing, which is interesting, is that it was mentioned the other day in opening night, there's 11,000 manufacturers.
Right. That was, I believe, Lance Lopez from NJMEP
in
New Jersey here.
About 30% of those employees, okay, their employers are eligible for tax credits for them.
So if they're employing people, they have the
About
opportunity.
30% of those employees, yeah.
Okay, by show of hands, and we're not going to see this on camera, how many people actually know about this in this audience right now? I see 1, 2, 3,
There you go.
4. All right. So there's like 300 people in the room. There's only 4.
minus 50.
So how does, if I guess the real thing is like this seems like one of those things that gets really complicated. This is why a lot of people don't know about it. We're all working. We're all CEOs. We're all the graphic designers. We're all the marketers. We're all the something, or there's somebody working under us who's all the other somethings. And a lot of times we just don't have time to chase this down.
Right.
And so is what keeps us from finding that, I think, is one question. Like, what makes it difficult?
It can get really complicated because of 30-something programs out there, and 10 of them are just for new hires. Each of them have a different category. They have different requirements. So if there's a requirement for if they're unemployed, it depends on how many months they were unemployed. Okay, and if they were a veteran or not. If they have a family member that is disabled or not. So there's a lot of requirements there. And what we do is we work with the company to really break that down and try to help you. And some things that you can't do as an employer, or you shouldn't do as an employer, ask questions. So one of the things is that if you're on SNAP, okay, and you're in a empowerment zone, or not even if you're in an empowerment zone, your employer is eligible, but do you want to ask your employer, are you on SNAP?
Interesting.
They really shouldn't know, right? There's none of their business.
Yeah.
But they need to know to get the tax credits.
I see. So there's some information that must be given in order to get those tax credits.
Right.
And you guys can help with that, and you can guide them and things like that, right? That's basically what the gist of what you do is.
Yeah. So with Asure Software, we ran the payroll over. Okay. So we get the payroll data, and we put it over to HR Logics, and then they have the data, and we get that information along with the survey that they hold and say, okay, confidential. You know, are you an ex-felon? Are you unemployed? Are you unemployed for how many months? Are you disabled in your family? Whatever it may be, they have that information confidential, and they'll just tell the employer if they're eligible or not.
So there really is no sort of, it's not going down the pipe.
No, not going. Is it eligible or not? That's it.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
So let's use another real world example. They're working from home, woman-owned business, working from home, selling, medical supplies.
Yep.
Right. So they're working in their home.
Hmm.
Right. Is that do they need a commercial space, or is it
Nope.
working from your home?
All you need is the EIN number, and it has to be W-2 employee.
Okay. So 1099 employees
No.
they have to move over to be W-2. So
Yep.
if you have 1099 employees, you got to think about that.
Right.
And then what about, let's say, somebody who's working the larger organization? Maybe they're doing something with like the Navy, NOC AD, they're larger. Maybe they're still falling under that small business category.
Yep.
But, we're talking, $20 million a year maybe is the lowest threshold.
As long as they're within the categories, they hire people within those categories, they're eligible. Very few conditions that make you ineligible. Very few, I think 2 or 3 of them. But it really comes down to how many hours they work, how much you pay that person, all right? And there's a cap to it. So if you hire someone, the most is $9,600 if you hire a veteran under different categories. It's stackable. So if you have a veteran, let's say they're disabled and unemployed, you get stackable for that.
You want me to get closer? No, I have the...
Okay.
That's a small thing. I have the monitor up here. But thank you, Godmother.
So look at it for you. So it's stackable, so you can take advantage of that. So that's the only really requirement, that you can't go past a solid dollar amount.
Right.
There's a check cap to it for each individual.
All right. That's a lot for my brain. So I'm going to use one more. So let's say we have a brand new business, right?
Yep.
Brand new business. We're talking a tax credit, and they're sort of new to this. They're feeling the way around the dark, like most of us, how we start out. And they want to take advantage of an opportunity like this. But the question is I need money now.
All right. So especially if you're starting out, all right, you can have those tax credits held over 20 years. So you don't have to make a profit now. Okay? You could hold it out for 20 years and say, I'm going to pay that. I'm going to get those credits in the future against my tax liability. Or you go back in 1 year. It depends on the actually tax credit you're going after. It depends on what it is. But for the hiring tax credits, you go to 20 years.
up to 20
Yeah.
years. So you're basically bankrolling it more or less.
Yeah, bankrolling. And then also, if you do quarterly estimates, you could actually take the credits on those quarterly estimates.
Take the credits on my estimates.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm not a tax on money.
but it depends on where you are and what your filing is and things like that. So
I just spend the money.
I'm sure Mike appreciates that.
You can ask her. I just spend the money. You're gonna have to talk to Mark and be like, "How much do you
Mark.
spend? We need to get you some tax credits." So, anybody out there has a question? I'm missing something because I'm about to, my brain's kind of winding down. I'm trying here. So, is there a question out in the audience that we can ask Stephen? Raphael, maybe? Go ahead.
So where do you find out about these tax credits?
So, where do we
There's
find
no
out?
central.
Accountant? Is there certain websites? Is there?
No.
It's how do you narrow it down?
Yeah, the problem is that there's no one site. Since there's 3,000 across states and local governments and federal governments, there's no one place to get this information. That's what makes our relationship so valuable to us with RJ. They do all the research. Now, bigger companies have the resources to do the research, but small business don't. So that's where it goes.
We don't have the money. If we as an individual, is there talk to the Chamber of Commerce?
No, they won't have it.
Is there a certain part of the ordinance, within the local government or the state?
You could try. I mean, if you go to the Department of Justice, I mean, not the.
So let me just repeat it, just so we make sure we can hear it on the camera. And I'm like, so
Right.
Again, the question. What was your name again? I'm sorry. Danielle from
North Wales.
North Wales, Pennsylvania. What's the name of your business? Malanai.
Means gentle breeze in Hawaiian.
Gentle
cool.
breeze in Hawaiian. Malanai. Remember that, folks. Malanai. So that was the core is where is this stuff? Do we have a database? Is there a local agency that helps us? Does the Chamber of Commerce help us? Does our accountant help us? Who's out there? Where is that? Can we do it ourselves and successfully find it all?
You could do yourself and drive yourself crazy, okay?
Or government contracting.
Yeah. But it's hard. It's you're not going to find it in one place. So Philadelphia will have some tax credits. Pennsylvania as a whole will tax credits. Jersey has tax credits. Some cities have tax credits. So you don't have one place. Federal government has some tax credits. So you won't find it in one spot. And that's what we do. We work with our HR Logics, and they have that database. They have that information, and it's always changing. Government comes in and says, "I want to have some more tax credits for this opportunity," things like that. That's what we come and play with. So
you had mentioned New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and we cross a lot of borders. There's pretty much, especially today's day and age, technology. We can be everywhere. We're operating everywhere. We have to register if we want to do business over here and there. So what happens when you're in multiple states?
That's not a problem. I mean, our company Asure is in all 50 states nationwide, and we work with HR Logics, and they go through that whole process throughout the whole state or the whole country. I mean, New York City has alone 50 different opportunities out there, in just the city alone.
Manhattan.
Manhattan. Yeah.
So with the 6 boroughs that means northern New Jersey.
Yeah.
Come on, we all know it's true. Stop acting like it's not.
I'm from Manhattan, so it's not.
Oh yeah, you're one of them.
One of them. Yeah.
Get off my TV.
My car, so that's what I'm here.
So, is there any other questions? Because I could sit here and come up with a bunch of dumb ones. LaShawn Drew from?
So I'm from South Jersey.
South Jersey, we won't hold that against you.
That's okay. I think good. Nonprofit, staying the course.
Staying the course, nonprofit.
Original hot dog factory.
Right.
Original hot dog factory.
Question, kind of to piggyback along the line of what she asked. Being that there's no one place to go for all of the information, what would you say are maybe the top 3 things, right, to kind of go after and look for? I know you mentioned the ERC, right? But where should we kind of go to get started to kind of look for those things? Maybe the top, 3 to 5 places to go.
Yeah, the one of the biggest one is WOTC, Work Opportunity Tax Credits, and that has to do with hiring, tax credits for hiring certain individuals. So it covers again people who are on SNAP, unemployed, veterans, ex-felons, people who are family members of people who are disabled.
Oh.
So you can have someone in your family has a disability, and because they're on a government aid, your employer could get tax credit for hiring you.
Oh, wow.
All right. So it's not one easy. I mean, there's you can go through dozens and dozens of pages of this thing, and it's hard. But to say about nonprofits, even though there's no tax liability for nonprofits, they can get tax credit for hiring veterans, and they get paid. Their tax credit is against the FICA tax credit. So actually, it applies to nonprofit in this category. Yeah.
So even as a not-for-profit, there's some benefits in that tax credit.
Yeah. So what we do is, since we drive the payroll, you'll sit down with someone from I think it's Ann from HR Logics, and we'll put in the information. Puts it, and then she talks to you and says, "Okay, how many are you going to be hiring this year? How many people are you going to hire this year?" You say, "Okay, 30 people. All right, what's your turnover like?" and things like that. Because as a employee, you have to work 400 hours, which is only 10 weeks full time. So you have to work 10 weeks before your employer is eligible for the tax credits. So she'll ask, okay, what's your turnover like? And then start saying, okay, so we put it in the system, and then they get notified every time you get a new hire from us. And that starts the clock and saying, okay, you only have 28 days to get certified from the state, because the state certifies you, and then goes to the federal government with your tax forms. All right, to get the claim, but the state certified. You only have 28 days to get that certification.
So is there a way, because tax credits, you talk about being bankrolled, they're getting against your taxes. Is there a way to leverage these tax credits in some capacity? Are there people who factor these out? And
Yeah, you can get factoring companies to do it, I'm sure. Yeah, to do that. But it really depends on your cash flow. Yeah, the way you have to be. But think about that. If you have, let's say, for argument's sake, you have 20 employees that are eligible, and let's say the average is $2,000 for each one. Then you get $24,000. How much is that? $40,000. So what would you do with $40,000 of tax credits that you don't have to pay at the end of the year, and you can spread that out, so you're going to save, well, let's say for argument's sake, $3,000 a month. Okay, your future tax credit, you know it's going to come because you already had gone through the system.
So there's a lot to unpack here, so I'm going to... Pardon?
I have a question.
Oh, you have a question? I thought you were telling me, Eric, get off stage.
Uh-oh.
Well, that too, but a quick question.
Sheila Harrison.
I'm in trouble now.
So your organization assists in identifying what those...
Yes.
Okay. Do you also assist in working with other companies with the compliance piece?
Yes.
So I assume there's a lot involved in
Compliance.
Yeah.
So can you talk about that a little bit?
They had 8850, I believe, is a form. There's 3 forms that compliance. It's 8850, and they go through that process to give you the 8850 form for compliance purposes. Then they give you the other forms. I forget what the number is right now for your tax breaks to supply to your CPA. Yeah.
This is way over my head at this point.
It's all done systematically. So if you're a client, then what you do is you actually get a portal to see where you are in that process of where your application is.
Okay, so it's not just like when you hand it off to your accountant and they disappear into the ether with your information, and you're like, what's going on, Bill? It's not that. You could actually jump up there.
Right, so HR Logics gets the information from us about the hiring employee, okay? And then they get notified when the employee fills out the survey. Because if the survey's not filled out, nothing can happen.
Gotcha.
Then they get the survey, and then the process starts, and you'll see it actually on the dashboard, okay? And then they'll say, okay, this is what you're eligible for at the end.
You know, my eyes are glazing over.
Yeah,
it's
that's right.
Like, I'm like, wow, like there's just so much to unpack. And I think, everybody in this room is a subject matter expert in their field, in their industries, right? You're all subject matters and experts in your industry. And we can't all wear the hats, and we can't also necessarily just, go fishing and find that one individual that, out there. There's no more yellow pages. It ain't that easy to just throw a dart or drop your finger in a random page. So I think, there's a lot to unpack, and people should come and talk to Steven today. And then I think you also have your partner.
Am I both outside? Yeah.
Yeah, at the table.
Did you say apartment?
Partner.
Oh.
Did I say
I think you said apartment. Like, yeah,
your
okay.
apartment outside? So we've been here long enough. We're all living here. At this
Right.
point. So I think that's because there's just no way for me to tap deep
Right.
into this in like 20 minutes or 15, 20 minutes. It's just not available. But I urge everybody to please take a minute and talk to Steven and get his card and do that deep dive with him. I've known you now for a few years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably too long for us, right? So I've watched you just deliver information to everybody that you speak to and take care of a lot of people. So I urge everybody to talk to Steven Lesce at Asure. And what's the website?
AsureSoftware.com.
AsureSoftware.com, and that'll be in the copy below, in the description below. And you want to give us an email or phone number that they can reach you at?
Yeah, my phone number is 908-610-1328.
Okay.
It's a new number. It's right, 908-910-1328.
Don't edit the show.
I got to read it from the bottom of the page. It's 908-910-1328.
I'm just making sure you.
Yeah, I got you.
You screw up, so we just leave it live. So, all right, folks. I appreciate you guys tuning into the show. I appreciate all of you sitting here entertaining this. My little fantasy of being a TV host. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here at ProcurementCon.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And hold the applause, Mark. I'm not that special. I got announcements to
I
make.
think it's for you. It's for Steve.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Mark, where's my? No. So, folks, join us at ProcurementCon.com. Sign up, become part of our membership community. It's free, our business community. It's a free membership where we provide you with resources, spotlights like this. You might be on our show. And check out the people that make things happen. I see what I did there, Sheila? Okay. And folks, if you are interested in learning more about government contracting, we have the resources and the connections. The woman I said called her the godmother out there that you can't see on camera. She runs the boss. She is the godmother of Knock AD Lakehurst over here in New Jersey. She's a resource for you to tap into, along with Sheila Harris Adams, who is a resource here in New Jersey. But trust me, if you're from Tennessee, reach out to them too, just to annoy them. Tell them I sent you. Check you guys out soon.
Thanks. Bye-bye.